Day coffee chat. I have my cup of black coffee, decaf.
Yes.
What do you have, Nili?
I have coffee with cream. Not
Fantastic.
This is my first caffeinated coffee of the day.
Ha!
Yes.
Still practicing the waiting till you've been awake for a minute to actually consume the coffee.
Yes. Yeah. So I think my body has gotten used to it. It's been good. I think. Like, it's hard to know. But I found the only way that I could tolerate it, like mentally, was to have the decaf first thing. Just because it's such a ritual.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't have that, then I'm like craving. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Hi, Rick Wynn. We do have Gary and Blaze here, and Rick Wynn has popped in. Welcome, welcome. It's kind of been a little whirlwind for me. We had our homeschool group this morning. Lauren, the youngest, she's under the weather, sleeping so great. So Jared stayed home with her. So just trying to get everything all done, get tucked in. I feel like my internet might be terrible or something.
Oh, really? I can hear you.
Good morning, Cindy. I guess it's afternoon for me, but
yes.
It's all good. So you talked about reducing or like.
Yes.
For like the first hour. And did you get that from Hugh?
I heard it from him, and I also heard it from at least one other source. And it was enough times, like in the same week, where I was like, okay,
maybe I should try that.
Maybe it's a sign.
Maybe so. So I went through and I had watched a few different videos where that concept was brought up from Huberman and a few other YouTubers who had done the actual implementation of waiting until, hour and a half of wake time to consume caffeine. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And then this weekend, I basically got knocked on my heels. I felt like I had been run over by a truck.
Oh, no.
I had horrible pain in my ears, throat pain, and my body was just achy all over. No fever, no coughing, no congestion, no nothing except those 3 symptoms. And I was so exhausted. So basically Saturday, I came in here, had my, I actually had tea that morning, an herbal tea just to sort of soothe my throat. I thought, well, that's no time like the present to try to eliminate the first morning coffee. Did that, finally had a cup of coffee a couple hours later, but I also felt like trash. So I basically sat holed up in a blanket with a pillow and not doing a whole lot of much. So that was Saturday. And then Sunday, I was in here first thing in the morning and I had tea again. And I was exhausted again. And Jared said to me, why don't you just go back to bed? And I thought, that sounds like the absolute right choice. I'm going to do that. So I went back to bed and slept a few more hours and spent all day Saturday and Sunday in my pajamas, which is absolutely the opposite of normal for me. And then yesterday morning, I woke up, my throat was still a little bit like achy. So hot tea again and waited for that first cup of coffee. I only was able to make it like an hour after waking for a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Without the decaf, I can hardly make it an hour. I don't know if there's just enough caffeine in the decaf that it's giving me a tiny, tiny hit, or if it's just mental.
Yeah.
Like, all I need is that ritual.
Yeah. And I can easily drink decaf all day long. But we brew, I set up a coffee maker to brew a whole pot of regular coffee the night before so that, it's prepared whenever we wake up.
And it's waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I love having my own little situation already organized and set up for me. So it's kind of like I smell the coffee, and it could have been decaf, but I don't buy decaf ground coffee. I just buy decaf K-cups. So I was just like, it's really hard when you can smell the coffee and you love the coffee, and it's just.
Yeah, I think for me, it highlights how much ritual and just
rhythm,
the comfort you get from things can be an issue. Like when you go keto and low carb and you like break your physical sugar addiction, That's like just one side of it.
Yeah.
There's this whole other like, oh, I always, get this when I'm at the store as a treat, or I always, when I go get gas, I run in and get this or that. And it's like, you can not be physically craving the sugar, but you can like mentally and really deeply be craving something.
That ritual. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like some sort of comfort in it, or like almost like a primal, like this is how I feel safe. And so it can trigger this, like, if I don't have that, it's almost like a fight or flight type thing. Like this is what I need to feel secure.
Yeah.
There's this whole other side of food and drink that has little to do with the physical addiction. And I watch these people that don't really struggle with that. They only, and they've broken their sugar addiction, and they're like, no big deal, like anyone can do it. It's easy. All you have to do is go keto, and then you'll never be hungry again. And you're like, well, that's not really how it is for everybody. And that like emotional tie can be really strong.
Well, that's a very interesting rabbit hole to sort of explore, just because that means you have to confront the feelings that you have, that you're sort of numbing out with those rhythms and those routines and that ritualistic aspect of it. And then it becomes kind of like a control issue. And that's interesting. Like that could go a lot of different ways without really trying to go a lot of different ways.
Right. And I'm not one that, I mean, there's a lot of people, especially in the carnivore community, I think that like they're just like, food is only fuel, and get to the point where, and I get this, like this sounds, in one way it sounds appealing, like get to the point where food doesn't cost you any mental energy and it's only fuel. It's just like filling up your gas tank. Like there's a part of me that's like, yeah, that sounds kind of nice, because there is struggle on the other side. But like I've said in my videos for a long time, it's like the benefit of enjoying food is worth the struggle to me. But so just because like I recognize my decaf coffee in the morning is like a comfort, a security, just enjoyment. Like I'm okay with that. I don't feel like I'm less than because I choose to have that security and that enjoyment in the morning. Like, some people would see it as, oh, you're just weak. You just haven't evolved enough.
It's a crutch.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm fine using a crutch like that. There's no problem with that. Like, and not even a crutch, because that implies like some deficiency.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine just choosing to experience pleasure and comfort in that ritual.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, it's no different than somebody who puts on slippers when they get out of their bed to walk down the hall instead of touching cold floor if it's the winter time.
Sure. And then there's like the line between when does it actually become a problem? Sure. If I don't know, but I don't know how decaf coffee in the morning would cause any huge issues. But if it were something else, like if it were sugar, if it were alcohol, it's like, well, you get to the point where it is causing problems in your life and in your relationship and stuff. But for me, it's like, I just kind of recognize it. So I'm not oblivious. I'm not like a victim to it. Like, oh, it's just happening to me and I have no control. It's like, no, I recognize that I'm a human and I have these needs to be secure and to have comfort. And, oh, look, this is a way that I have found that I get comfort, and I'm accepting that. That's good.
Yeah. Every morning that I get up, I wake up, roll out of bed pretty instantaneously, and then I go through the bathroom and I collect my robe and I put my robe on. It does not matter what I'm doing that day. It doesn't matter if I'm about to go get in the shower. I'm going to put my robe on just because it's that comfort thing, that mantle that you just like encapsulate yourself with to go and do the next thing, which is turn up the heat, usually because we sleep when it's kind of chilly. So it's one of those things where like, even that, oh, well, you're just, a weenie to have to, put on a robe to feel comfortable walking through the house. Like,
well, and I think it's kind of funny the people that do get that attitude of, oh, you're just not evolved enough. It's like that attitude is what makes them feel secure about themselves.
Yes.
It's like, oh, come on. They're like, I'm
Right?
better than you, therefore I am secure.
Well, and it's like the validation concept that we've talked about in the past, like just kind of grazed over. You know, we need that validation that, hey, what you're doing is good and right, therefore you are good and right. But it's like we're really all given the opportunity to choose, and as long as I have the option to choose a hot drink in the mornings, I'm going to do that.
Yes.
I'm not the person who's going to drink a glass of ice water when I first wake up. I mean, I don't drink ice water on the regular anyway because ice is not my favorite. But
Mm-hmm.
I choose to do this thing. Somebody else chooses to get up at 4 a.m. and run a half marathon every morning. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
else chooses to get a shower first thing they wake up. Somebody else, you know, everybody chooses something different. Does that make every person's choice a weakness for them? And then at what point do you become like the most evolved you could possibly be? I
Right.
don't know.
Well, and then there's always room to make adjustments and to challenge yourself. Like for
Sure.
me, it was a challenge to give up the caffeinated coffee. Like I was getting my security and my comfort from that. And I recognized that maybe I would, it would be better for me in the long run to make a change to that. So it's not like we're just, whatever it is that we choose or do or a routine that we're stuck with it, like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just how I am. That's just what I do. There's always room to challenge yourself and to, do something for your betterment, I guess.
Yeah.
But then
Or-
also recognize, because I've done that before where it's like, oh, I need to get healthy in some way. So I'm going to go on this ultra strict diet. I'm going to exercise like crazy 6 days a week. And, and you're like, you're totally like or I'm gonna, get up at 5 a.m. and all these things. And it's like
yeah.
you're disregarding your human need for comfort and security and stuff
Yeah.
and you're in place of that, you're only focusing on these physically getting better in these areas. But when we recognize like the holistic, all the parts of being human and kind of honor each one of them, how like in an appropriate way, that's when I think we can get to probably the healthiest, I guess.
Sure.
Because you see people that they put so much emphasis on physical health, and I definitely have been in this camp where it's like all about diet. It's all purity in the foods we're eating, the right amount of food, and then exercise. And we're just like all in on that. But it's like because of that, you have no place for a social life. And you
Yeah.
can't ever enjoy your time with friends because you're so hyper focused on your little Rubbermaid of food that you prepared, you prepped at the beginning of the week. And it's like that aspect of social life is
Equally
probably as
valuable.
much as important as the exercise and the food that you're eating when it comes to your health. And so it's just so easy for people to fixate on
Yes.
one aspect, and because it's kind of a perfectionist thing for me. It's like I'm just going to pick this thing and I'm going to do it perfectly. But when you do that, it's like you're pushing aside. You can only have so many priorities.
Yes.
I mean, that's the definition of priority. You can only have so many,
Yeah.
and you have to put other things lower, So
Right.
I don't know. I came in this morning like I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I haven't even thought about it. And apparently I have a lot to say.
Holy Spirit came through.
And we have missed a lot of comments
We
here.
have missed
So
a
Amy's
lot.
here.
Yay,
Amy's
Amy.
here. Let's see. Oh, Michelle is only 5 minutes late today. That counts.
Congratulations, Michelle. That's awesome.
Michelle, wasn't it you that was going to try to make it like 2 weeks in a row to the whole live? If that was you, then 5 minutes late totally count as being here on time.
Gary, it's great that nobody asked for your help so that you could participate.
Okay.
Amy's figuring out all of the technologies.
Yes, and I made Amy a admin last week. Do I have to? Oh, that was on mine. Yeah, that's right. So maybe you can make her. Yeah, I don't know exactly how the tagging works on the YouTube lives, because some people can tag other people, but I haven't figured out how to do it, and I don't know if it's just because when you're just watching a live, you're not able to, or I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Add as standard moderator. Let's see if that works. Amy, are you a blue wrench now? No. Let me change that. And then let me.
Suzanne said that she made some lemon curd from lemons her sister sent up from Arizona. Oh my gosh. And I bet it is amazing. Okay, so it used to be my absolute favorite thing to have Greek yogurt with lemon curd. And then when I went pretty hardcore keto, I cut out, well, I went dairy free for a really long time too. I cut out Greek yogurt. And now I've been back to eating, yogurt for a few months, and I have not made lemon curd.
This sounds like a missed opportunity.
I don't know what is wrong with my brain that I did not think to just do that. So thank you. I'm absolutely going to do that.
It's kind of like everything is like the ocean of information, and some of it always rolls in and then it rolls out and it rolls in and it rolls out, and it's never the exact same information coming in and out. So I think that I do that all the time. Like, oh, I absolutely love my homemade bread that I make. That's, my keto bread. That's not the egg white protein bread. I love that
with
stuff.
Your baking blend?
Yeah. And so Jared, he loves that as well. And I was like, I kind of got on the trend of doing the egg white bread and then doing all of the different variations and trying out all of your variations and everything. And then I realized the other day, I said, I really want to do hot roast beef sandwiches at some point this week, because I had a roast beef that I had done, I don't know, a few months ago, and then I freezer saved, like air sealed it or food savored it. So I was like, oh, that'll be an easy dinner whenever we're busy at night. And I thought, what am I going to serve that on? Well, sometimes I just do cauli rice or whatever and regular rice for the girls. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to pull out my old low carb, one net carb of bread, one net carb bread. Oh my word. Words are hard. And I'm going to make that. So we had that, and it was like, why did I ever stop making this thing? It's because I got excited about something else, and my brain has finite bandwidth, and there are infinite options and opportunities. So,
well, and you could only eat so much bread.
Oh my word, isn't that the truth?
I mean, don't just go bake up every single recipe at once. It'll all go bad.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, all of these different ideas, they take time. They take repeat, opportunities to verify, like, is that thing what I think that thing is? Is it still good? Is it not? Is it
is it repeatable for someone else?
And then you do it so many times with that one thing that you're finally like, I am so sick of this thing for now. I'm going to put you on the back burner until I have the emotional ability to continue to eat this thing. I've got, probably 5 or 6 different ideas that I've got written down, and I'm like, I just don't have it in me right now to spend the effort doing this thing. And, it is what it is.
Well, I'm very thankful for my YouTube channel because of this, because like you said, that things go out and then they go back in. Yeah. I think if I didn't film stuff, it would go out and I'd never remember it. Right. It would be a thing that I enjoyed, and I just kind of got out of the habit of making it or doing it, and then I don't remember how I made it or that I liked it so much. But then when a video pops up in my feed from, 3 years ago, I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. I should do that again. And then I have the recipe right there, so I know how to do it.
We're looping you back in.
I loop myself back in.
I'm gonna have to keep like rotating the transom windows here, like letting all the sunlight in, and it's really bothering me.
Well,
Okay,
you still did great.
thanks. Okay, we missed even more. The lemon curd. Yes, we got there. Da, 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 da.
Want to talk about
Oh, my
how young
fried
people?
hard-boiled eggs. Good gravy.
I,
Those are.
I haven't tried it. Still
And
haven't tried it.
what?
I need
What?
to. Well, yeah. Oh, our Fab Four hasn't come out yet, right? Yeah.
No.
We filmed it a few days ago and it hasn't come out, so I can't give any spoilers. So
Well,
I was gonna say something, but then I decided to. We can't mess up the timeline.
keep with the timeline. What are you waiting? Cindy asks a very good question. What are you
Yeah.
waiting for?
Well, if you watch the Fab Four, you'll know. I don't know that we're really gonna do it though. Maybe I should just say it. We talked about doing the fried hard-boiled eggs on a video together,
Yeah.
trying them together. But I don't know if we'll really do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, that was the only reason.
I haven't actually made those in a little while.
Hey,
not,
there you go. You're getting looped back in.
they're getting looped back into the conversation here. I think I think the last time I had them had to have been about 2.5, maybe even 3 weeks ago. So it's been a minute for me.
It has. It
And for
has.
eggs, like that's weird. I will
Okay,
say though,
maybe next week on our live,
maybe,
I'll make some
maybe so.
and I'll try them with you
On the line.
on the live. Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'd be great.
Okay, so the weird thing about me though is I don't like deviled eggs.
Okay.
Am I weird?
Not weird.
Okay. I don't like deviled eggs and I like hard-boiled eggs, but I have to have them with something. Like just the idea of eating a hard-boiled egg, not my thing. But if I have a hard-boiled egg with sausage and I'm having a bite of egg with the bite of sausage, like I like that.
That sounds fantastic.
So I'm wondering if the fried hard-boiled eggs, like the frying would be enough that I could enjoy just the egg.
I mean,
I like fried egg. Well, I guess I'm similar with fried eggs and scrambled eggs, where I really do prefer having it with something else.
okay.
Just eating the eggs by themselves.
I, on the other hand, can just eat eggs.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why I've never done egg days or egg fast.
The egg fast situation, I did that when I think Jared, we were still in Wisconsin and Jared was on a multi-day trip for work. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a try right now since I've only got the girls to feed and myself, and I can easily not taste their food, but I can't eat like Jared and we eat very similarly. So usually whatever I'm eating, he's eating and vice versa. So I was like, I'm not going to put him through an egg fast. That sounds a little bit aggressive when he's not the one making that decision. So while he was traveling, I did that. And it's not the easiest thing on the planet to just eat eggs. Like I absolutely love eggs. However, to get over the mental hurdle, that thought of like I need the varying foods
to
navigate.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I mean I maybe would attempt an egg fast at some point because there are like recipes. You don't have to just eat plain eggs. But because I like eggs enough that I would be willing to do that.
Yeah.
The sardine fast, on the other hand, I don't think I could do it. Like hats off to everyone who does. I just
that one is not gonna be looped into the conversation. Definitely.
Yeah.
Amy, you're a blue wrench now. High five.
Yay. Amy, can you tag people now? I'm curious to know if the blue wrench makes you be able to.
So on the phone, you can tag people, but you have to put the @ symbol plus their handle exactly as it's presented for it to highlight that person. And when you're on the computer or on a like a non-mobile device, it will kind of help you auto-populate it. So if you say at C, it'll start to fill in anybody whose handle starts with the letter C, and you can select it easily.
Yeah.
But on your phone, your mobile device, you have to actually go in and do the arduous task of hand typing and putting spaces in appropriately.
Okay.
It's a little bit weird.
Like, okay, Blaze just put in Amy at Amy, low carb prepper.
Uh-huh.
And it looks exactly the same, but it's not highlighted.
For us, it highlights on Amy's screen.
Oh, okay.
So if they put it like, watch, I'm gonna do something.
You tag me.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Did that highlight for you?
Yes, it did. Wow. Okay.
We are technology-ing.
Yay. We are YouTubers. We should know these things.
We're so good at this. We're so good at it.
Everyone should listen to us about how to be good YouTubers.
Literally show up and be yourself. That's how you be a good YouTuber.
It's true. And just keep doing it.
Cindy did a 7-day egg fast. Loved it. She found so many egg fast recipes. And I know that there are hundreds of those out there. I do think some of them get into some grayish territory when you add a lot of cream.
They always do.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's in the spirit of the actual egg fast situation. But, you know.
Yeah, that's what I always do, is I always try to push the envelope.
I mean,
with things like the egg white bread. And that's why I always get kicked out of every diet group. So I'm like, technically it works.
I mean, isn't that what humans do though? We had a lesson today for our Bible class that we do at our homeschool group. And one of the things that one of the kids had asked was like, well, if you walk too far on the Sabbath, then how far is too far before you're no longer resting? And our instructor, he said, well, you're not actually, like, the question you're asking is innocent enough, but the real underlying question is, how far can I push the envelope before it's officially opened? Like, how far can I go and touch the line of limitation without crossing over it? Like, where does that actually sit? And I think we do that in every area of life. Like, how much over the speed limit can I drive before it's technically not within the confines of, like, within the intent of the law? How many of these items can I get for the sale price and then come back in the store and get more of the sale price items before it's like a hoarder situation? Where's the line?
Yes, exactly. My kids, I have a rule in the house where they're allowed to have one sweet treat a day, as long as, all of their responsibilities are taken care of. So they can have one sweet treat. And the hairs that are split over what is a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Like, is a smoothie a sweet treat? Is dry mango a sweet treat? And how much, if I have just this much of this, can I have this much of this? Does that count as just one sweet treat?
Right. So we have, like Lily's chocolate chips, and the girls would ask, well, how many could I have? I mean, like, because one sweet treat could be one morsel, or is it one serving, or is it this condiment cup that actually holds 3 ounces?
Yeah, or just, a handful. If it fits in my hand.
Right.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Splitting hairs.
I put that rule in place because I thought it would simplify, like, because they were asking me, can I have this? Can I have this? I'm like, have you already had your sweet treat? And when there's only one, it's like, it should cut down on the questions, to just be like, oh, I already had it. I won't even ask. But no, it's like, what can I get away with? Is this technically, if I have a banana with peanut butter and honey, is that a sweet treat? If I have that, can I also have a cookie? Yeah.
Yes.
It's an art, not a science.
And the problem is, art is subjective. Therefore, they're just practicing subjective art creation. Look at you homeschooling the fine arts.
It's not like math. where, you know, there is an exact right answer to every question. It is art. Yeah. And they paint with all the colors.
And then mush a lot of them together to see if they can get a real color out of that too.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. The joys of motherhood.
Okay, we're moving backwards now. We're moving backwards. It's happening.
Okay, so Michelle asked up here, can you highlight your family experience with athletic greens? Have you tried athletic greens yet?
Okay. I was going to say, when I saw that comment, that I knew we were going to get to that one, and I was going to be like, well, I haven't looped in the athletic greens yet.
Yes. So you still have the sample packs?
I do. And what's funny is one of the sailing families that we watch are couples. They are Expedition Evans. So it's just a couple. They don't have any kids right now. And they are sponsored by Athletic Greens. And we watched their newest episode last night. And I saw that and I thought, oh man, I need to really like go in and test out the Athletic Greens, because I keep seeing it like, oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It needs to be looped in. And I've set it on the back burner.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's use
we only have bandwidth for so many things at a time. So it is okay. Okay, so go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, like the El Ruderai fermented dairy, the SIBO super gut yogurt, all of those things are super interesting. Yeah. And they're hands-on tactile things that I can do. The athletic greens, like I don't have to physically do a whole lot or figure out a whole lot. It's more of a just like dump, mix, go.
They do it all for you.
And it's really like simplified. And I'm like, I just want to figure something out. I need to solve problems. I need to figure it out. But so I need to pull it up and figure it out.
Yep. You can go on a 5-day athletic greens challenge.
Yeah. It also means that I have to like have the mental capacity to say like, I'm going to record doing that, because I do want to record doing that so I can actually see my own facial expressions when I'm trying it.
Yes.
And be able to step back with a little bit of objectivity instead of like, oh no, it was great. It was great. You know, like how some women say right after they deliver their babies, like, oh, I forgot all about the pain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so our family experience, real quick. My husband was the first one that purchased it and decided he was going to try it because he was having some digestive, you know, all different kinds of
difficulties.
Fatigue. I think fatigue was the main driver of it, and he just wanted something that would give him more energy. He doesn't drink coffee, you know. He's not one of those. And so I know. So he got it, and he said that he started feeling a lot better after he was drinking it. He said his digestion got better, and that it helped him to not be as hungry. So my husband is very low percentage body fat, and he's the kind of person that gets told by doctors that they need to gain weight. You know, like I've never experienced that kind of thing. But I think he just has a really high metabolism, as well as some digestive issues that maybe are, you know, he's not digesting everything, so he's not absorbing all the stuff. And so he's hungry all the time because his body is not, it either burns through it really fast or isn't getting what it needs, or a little bit of both. So he felt like that the athletic greens really put a damper on that, and he was able to intermittent fast a little more and just eat bigger meals rather than just being hungry all day. So it was a really positive thing for him. And I can't remember. I think Levi, Levi, our 5-year-old, was having some digestive issues. He's got a number of issues, some skin issues, and he's allergic to eggs, and he had been kind of complaining about his tummy hurting kind of often, more than he should. And he'd say, oh, my tummy hurts. And then he'd have some diarrhea. And it wasn't anything super severe, but it was just enough where it was like, yeah, that's not normal.
There's something happening
here. Something going on. So my husband was like, let's try giving him like a quarter of a serving every day. And like within a few days, like the tummy pain went away and he just felt so much better. And so he's been on it ever since. And it's been, I don't think it's been a year yet. I think I started it in the summer. Maybe it's getting close to a year that my husband started it.
Okay.
And so when my husband first told me about it, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's, you just heard about it on a podcast commercial. And, and I was like, oh, this is silly. It's just another, help.
Another green drink.
Gimmick thing, because we're kind of desensitized to that kind of thing in the weight loss. When you're in the weight loss community for a while, you're like, yes, I've heard 1,000 times that this is going to give me energy and make me lose weight and, do all these things. And I'm like,
going to be a magic green beverage.
Exactly. You just kind of tune it out. And then also I was much more in the ketovore, close to carnivore mindset at that place. Like the most nutrition is going to come from animal foods, and like the idea of a green drink helping, I was like, oh, like this is silly. But both of them having such a good experience with it, and me watching Levi, because there's no placebo effect there. Like I could see it. I wipe his butt, so I literally could see it.
You got the paperwork to prove it.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. And I was like, I'm just gonna, try it, and then I'll prove that it doesn't do anything for me. And so I tried it, and within a couple of weeks, my skin I saw a huge difference in my skin. I did see a big difference in my appetite. Like I could sip on my athletic greens. I still have my coffee in the morning. And then when I started to feel a little hungry, I'd go ahead and have my athletic greens, and then it would just take away my hunger. And I know at the point that I started taking athletic greens, I was deficient in quite a few vitamins and minerals. Athletic greens does not have iron in it. So that was not one. I know I was iron deficient then, but that's not something the athletic greens did for me. But it had all kinds of other, it has everything in it. And I was deficient in a lot of things at that point, like vitamin D, vitamin B12. Those are the main ones that I know of. And I felt an immediate difference with it and saw an immediate difference in my skin. And so I was like, I'm sold. And that's when I made the video of, I have to come clean. It felt, I mean, it's so silly, but it felt like I'm doing something wrong by drinking something green and it making me feel healthier.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I took it for quite a long time. And then I'm trying to remember like all the timeline. I got my nutrients tested, and for like copper and I think vitamin A and vitamin E, maybe just a bunch of them, I was at the high end of normal on all of them. And it was at that point that I was like, well, maybe I don't need the athletic greens anymore. Like if I'm, that high, copper toxicity is a thing, it's a balance, And so I decided to go off of them for a while, and I did. And then a few times I've tried to go back on to see if they made me feel better. And they really didn't do as much for me the second time around. And I think it's probably just because my nutrient stores are a little bit, they're more full. And so I just don't need those gaps filled in quite as much. And I still am not sure if I should take them consistently or not. I haven't decided. The other thing that I noticed is when I was taking them at first, I really enjoyed the taste, and it was something I liked. And then now I don't like it as much, and it kind of turns my stomach. And I was thinking maybe that's a sign from my body that I don't need it as much.
Yeah.
So I go back and forth, and and I've kind of just been having it sporadically, which that is a strategy to supplements, is taking them, every other day or just every once in a while. They can, I don't know, absorb better or something.
Oh.
So anyways, that's where I am with it. I think it was exactly what I needed at the time that I started. I think it did a lot of really good things for me. I'm at the place now where I've gotten so much, my nutrient stores at such a good place that I don't know if I continue to need it or not. I'm like back and forth. So
Sure.
Yeah. So, but I think it's a good thing that, like, the vitamin D from the athletic greens and the B12 are the only supplements I took for those two nutrients. I didn't have anything else besides the food that I was eating that supplemented those things. And obviously, just eating the food got me to a place of deficiency. And I started taking the athletic greens, and my levels, I mean, my B12 like shot up, like to the point where I was like, I don't know if it should go any higher, you know? So like, I think that speaks to the quality of the product. But I mean, I didn't do any other supplementation beyond that. And I, you know, was dealing with SIBO where you don't absorb things as well. And so I think it's a really quality product. And I'll throw in one more thing. I heard from Ketogenic Girl, Vanessa Spina, that Athletic Greens was actually developed in part by Dr. Peter Attia. Do you know him?
The name sounds familiar.
He's a super, super smart guy. And he has been in the low carb space for a long, long time. And he's very well respected in the low carb space. And so, like, the fact that it wasn't like some vegan doctor that created it, is what I'm trying to say. Like, someone who's super smart, that's like on board with keto, low carb, you know, paleo type eating. He had a big hand in the development of the product. So if that means anything to anybody. Chris is here.
Yeah. Well, so is Alan. Hello, Alan. Hey, welcome. And Chris, it sounds like you're in for a world of fun.
Oh dear.
And so is Cindy. She's prepping for the same situation. So that's it.
Wow, that's the thing of the day.
That is a
now I feel left out.
Well, you were talking about how Levi was having his struggles, so I feel like that might have all looped all that together there.
Just take athletic greens and then you won't have to get a colonoscopy.
There you go. I think it's so fascinating. I think sometimes we get on the track of I take XYZ supplements every single day, every single time without fail. It's that ritualistic thing. And sometimes we don't ever pause to assess, does my body actually feel like it needs this anymore? You know, I take oil of oregano when I'm feeling under the weather, but I don't take it when I'm not feeling under the weather. So I assess, like, my body doesn't seem like it needs this or it's not benefiting anything from this. So I'm going to pause that until I feel like I need it again. And I think that's really cool, though, like with athletic greens, that you used it for a season when you needed it. Yes. And then you can put it on pause and you can revisit it from time to time and say, maybe I do need a little bit of a boost. But then again, maybe you don't. And I think that that's something we tend to forget when it comes to supplements, is that they're just there to boost a little bit beyond what you're actually giving to your body through actual food.
Exactly.
So I think that your experience is the testimony of we can use things for a season.
Yes.
And we can ebb and flow from it.
And like that would be the ideal situation where you use the tool for the season in order to get your body, like we've talked about previously, get your body to a different place. It's like there's the supplement and then there's your body, and you can work on both. And the supplement can have an effect on the body such that, you know, maybe you don't need the supplement for a long time. Like I use amino acid supplementation. I have used it a lot in the past. And I use it periodically when I need it, but it's one of those where your body builds up stores of it. Same with, vitamins. And once your stores are built up, you don't need to just keep taking it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of supplement I prefer, rather than a medication that you get prescribed and you just are on for the rest of your life. And if you go off of it, terrible things happen. It's like, if you need that, I'm glad that it exists. But ideally, you want to work on your body and getting it to a different place so that it doesn't need that forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting to me too that in the beginning it tasted neutral positive for you, and then as time progressed, it became less and less palatable for you.
Because I genuinely enjoyed it. Like I would sip on it, I have ice in it, and it was just like nice. And it's just not that way anymore.
It's That's very interesting. And I wonder if that's not your body's mechanism of saying, you know what? Unnecessary at this stage of the game. And
Right.
if
And
it
our
becomes
bodies,
palatable, maybe you
yeah.
boost it up a little tiny bit and see if that helps you or not. That's interesting.
Yeah. And like when I first started taking it, my body was like, oh my gosh, we really need this. So like turn on the happy whatever
Yeah.
so that she drinks it again. Yeah. I do also wonder if like the time of the year has something to do with it too, because
Sure.
I started in the summer and so it was hot. And so like a cold drink, a little bit more refreshing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I still
Maybe.
like cold drinks in the wintertime. So I don't know if that checks out.
All right. Let's revisit the comment section.
Okay,
Uh
Lindsay and Miriam are wearing the exact same sweater.
I would
That's
like I would like
weird.
to note that I am in Eastern time. Therefore, I must have put it on first, so I am not the copier here.
Now, we have talked about before that sometimes two separate people come up with the same ideas. It doesn't have to be that someone copied the other one.
That's yep, you just schooled me. Lesson remembered.
Well,
Lesson
and maybe
relearned.
Miriam should be on this live stream with you because normally we match.
Normally we do.
And
Yeah.
so I guess she just got the vibes, like the
She felt
clothing
the
vibes
she
for
felt
the
the gray
day
sweater
instead of
part.
me. Like
Yeah.
they went through Utah and didn't quite get to me and landed on Miriam.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
what happened.
That could have been it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um
Chris
went
said
ahead
that that's not how colonoscopies work, that athletic greens just fix it. Dang it. Dang it.
I tell you what though, colonoscopy is not something that I personally would choose to skip. As awful as it sounds,
Yeah.
it I don't know, we looked into actually getting those done like now and we're not yet 40, but I was like my husband, he looked into actually getting one done and we would have had to pay out of pocket because we're not over the 45 threshold. And
Mhm.
so it was one of those situations where it was like it'd be really good to know because, people are getting colon cancer younger and younger and younger. And it's one of those things, it's not like a prevention, but an early detection issue.
Right.
And I'm like, the earlier you can detect that kind of cancer, the better,
Yeah.
to be able to navigate that because, it's a rough way to go.
It is. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I have not had one yet. There was talk of me getting one
uh-huh.
maybe at some point, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
No, it does not look fun. Like the prep. I mean, well, everything involved, but yeah.
Cindy,
We'll
no
say some
support.
prayers. We'll say some prayers for you guys. Wait, who just had a baby? Oh, just a baby. I thought she said Lindsay Murphy just had a baby.
I did not just have a baby.
Okay. Oh, it's because you're not old enough for a colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah.
Yet. You're just a baby.
Listen, I'm getting
Lindsay
there.
Murphy, you've been holding out on me.
Definitely not having babies. We've got that situation navigated quite astutely. We
Yeah.
are literally all done.
Yeah. We had a scare the other month. I mean, a scare. And so I had to go through all the emotions of like, what
What
if?
if?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah.
Oh
No
man.
babies planned. We just got a puppy. That's enough. That's enough.
No doubt. No
Oh
doubt.
man, Cindy, the Cologuard. I don't know what goes on with the Cologuard, but I know that that's like an earlier detection before colonoscopy, and it came back
And I
positive,
think,
so you have to get the colonoscopy. Well, but it's good that you know.
yeah, absolutely. And sure, the colonoscopy overall just does not sound like a desirable, pleasant experience, but it's kind of for a finite period of time. Like if you're doing your 72-hour fast, you can do anything for a finite period of time.
Yeah.
Whenever you've got a screaming baby in the back seat of the car and you have to like retch your arm around to hold their face so that they know that you're still there until you can get someplace where you can actively stop. You can do that for a period of time because at some point you will stop. And I feel like that's the way it goes when it comes to the colonoscopy. Like, yes, I can suffer through this experience until it is done. And then I have the knowledge and I'm all done.
Yeah, it's like with our kids where, they don't want to clean their room or don't want to do their schoolwork. And it's like, sometimes you just got to do hard things. And
Yep.
then we can turn around. We can turn around and say it to ourselves.
That's right. I tell my girls all the time to do hard things.
Yeah. Yes.
It's hard.
But
and
it's hard. I was
called
like,
to.
you are made to do hard things.
Yeah. Look at you. You can fall on your face and get up again.
You are designed for. Okay. Yeah. Amy says her oven is closed as well.
Yeah.
Totally gone. No more oven.
Mama Cat, I am sorry to hear that about your mother. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
The prep is terrible. So when I was pregnant with Molly, I struggled with some severe constipation to the point where I did do some of the, like what is it? The magnesium citrate in the little bottle, and it's effervescent. And Jared, he was pushing me to get that thing drunk as fast as possible so that it could move like what it needed to move. So I've done that piece of a prep situation for a completely different period of life. And I didn't die, so that's exciting.
That's good. That's good. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right. Cindy said the Colo Guard, but it was written out Color Guard. And I was also thinking this too, Chris, that your high school had a color guard with lots of dancing and flags. That's what I saw as well.
That's hilarious. I knew what she was saying. I automatically knew what she was talking about.
Yeah. No, I was back at the whole, yeah, they supplemented the marching band.
Oh, I've seen those commercials with the little cartoon guy. Have you seen those?
I have seen them, but that's not, where my brain immediately went. I was thinking unitard with a flag.
Yeah.
That which does not kill me only postpones the inevitable.
That's a true statement. Pretty pessimistic, but pretty true.
Also, Mama Cat poops on parade. LOL. That was pretty good too. Miriam's here too. Hello.
Sweater twin.
Is your sweater the gray with the light white heart, or did you choose a different color? Because I know they had a red one and a black one. And
is it from Costco?
Huh? No, it's from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Like usual.
Yeah, my clothes usually come from Costco or from Cabela's. That's my other favorite place to shop.
Cabela's is good.
It is. Well, and my favorite thing about the Cabela's clothes, or at least the brand that I get, is I fit into a size small. I don't know how their sizing works, but small is perfect. It is not that way with any other clothing line.
Nice. Well, Miriam says it's the exact same color.
Wow.
Well, look at us twinning today. I love it. Because we can have the same exact things and not have copied each other, as Nili ever so diligently reminded me.
Yes. No need to get your guard up. No need to go accusing anybody.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of Chris and Miriam, I had Keto Chow ice cream for breakfast.
Oh.
I think I've fully bought in. I can't say what flavor I had because it's a secret.
Secrets.
It's a secret. I can't say. I won't say. But it was delicious.
Well,
maybe my new favorite.
Yeah. I made the blueberry pie as a creamy ice cream, and I also had made a strawberry crumble type of a thing, and I'd made a whole pan of it, like a 9x13 style pan of it, and Jared absolutely loves it, so he chose to combine blueberry pie Keto Chow creamy ice cream with the strawberry crumble, and he's like, it is literally so good together. I'm like,
sound
it does sound delightful. And then I thought about making like some drop biscuits, like keto drop biscuits that were a little bit sweet, doing like a strawberry shortcake thing with a scoop of
Mhm.
blueberry ice cream. You can get a little runaway, carried away, complicated with these
Mhm.
keto desserts, and then all of a sudden you've eaten like 70 carbs. So I've not done
It
that.
happens. It happens.
It could happen.
Chris wants to know if I am matching his BB-8 Star Wars T-shirt, because that would be cool.
That would have been.
I'm not wearing a BB-8 T-shirt, but I do have a BB-8 Instant Pot. So you match something in my house.
I think his face also matches the logo of all of the keto chow that might be in your pantry or somewhere.
Okay, I am beginning to have
A storage space.
a glorious collection of keto chow. And I even bought like little pantry organizer things where they fit like all in a line, and they're the cutest things ever, and it just makes me so happy. It's so ridiculous.
Okay. So my closet, I generally speaking keep it in a rough rainbow color from like whites to the colors all the way to black on the spectrum of the clothes rod. And when it comes to things like varieties of things like the keto chow, I've got them all organized in one little spot in my pantry, and I'm like, okay, if I take this one, then that means there's no more of that flavor in the spectrum. And what do I do then?
Oh dear.
And
You have to place another order.
it's kind of like if you have like one yellow shirt and you wear it, then all of a sudden the whole like spectrum of colors is thrown up.
That sounds a little OCD to me.
But if you've got
checked out.
multiples, like, oh, you've got like 4 pink shirts, so you could wear a pink one and still have your spectrum.
Wow. I don't have that problem. I'm not that organized in my closet.
Well, I just do it so that I don't know why I do it.
Hey, it probably makes you feel secure and safe. And that is okay, Lindsey. You are a human and you have those needs. And that is totally fine. As long as it doesn't get to the point of being unhealthy.
I feel validated, and I'm going to keep my rule.
Okay, for those that are just joining us, we talked about that at the beginning of the live stream about the things that we hold on to that just make us feel safe and secure and comfort, like my decaf coffee first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And that we're not less than because we have those things. We accept them as part of our human experience.
That's right. Okay.
So Miriam wants a BB-8 Instant Pot, and I fully support that desire because it's the best. It's the mini, the 3-quart mini.
Yeah.
So of course it's the BB-8 is the small one, and it's adorable. My sister-in-law got it for me for Christmas a few years ago, and I love it so much. The only thing that would make it better is if it made the BB-8 sound effects. It still makes the regular Instant Pot noises. So they totally missed an opportunity there, but
they didn't consult you first. That's why they missed it.
It's the best.
Yeah.
So Chris, I am going to go against you on this one, Chris. I support your wife's desire. 100%.
And a mini Instant Pot, you really can't go wrong. It's so useful.
No.
And it looks like you can get a 6-quart Stormtrooper, or you could get this 6-quart Darth Vader. I don't see what they have in an 8-quart. It doesn't look like they did one for the 8-quart.
I think they had Chewbacca as the 8-quart.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they did.
Well, BB-8 is not on Amazon at the moment.
Yeah, it might be on I can't remember it now. I don't remember. The name escaped my brain.
Oh well.
Whatever. If you want it, you will be able to find it. They are out there. I do see them periodically.
And they are the way.
They are. Yeah.
Okay, listen up, y'all. We have hit almost an hour, and because we did homeschool group today, that means that I do need to go check on my children, make sure that they are navigating their schoolwork diligently. We managed a lot of the things, but still want to keep tabs on my tiny humans.
Ooh, Bed Bath & Beyond is a good option. You might try there. I was thinking of a different place that always gets the newest Instant Pot versions first. It's not Sur La Table.
Oh, Sur La Table.
It's not that one, but it's like that one.
Williams-Sonoma?
Williams-Sonoma, that's it. That's it. Check on Williams-Sonoma. Yeah, Chris got here, so it's time to get off. Yeah, I got it built now. It is sad times. Yeah, I feel like this hour just flew by.
It really did. And we literally never prepare for these things.
Nothing. And I literally, like, I was thinking, oh man, I feel tired. I don't have anything in my mind to talk about. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, this, I have this story. I'll throw that in there, whatever. This time I was like, I got nothing.
Yeah.
And then we could just talk.
We literally can.
Talk about.
All right. I know that there's been lots of chatter today in the comments and we were not able to address every single comment. So forgive us that we weren't able to do that. And I'm not sure if the live chat will actually show up because I know I clicked the right buttons, but I don't know what will actually come about from that because I'm still not fully I'm such an awesome YouTuber.
We know all the things. Yes, over and over again.
Right. So it may not pop in there. So if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching this. And I really appreciate all of y'all being here today to just live chat with us while we sip our coffee and go off on random tangents about all kinds of things that we probably wouldn't have come up with otherwise.
Yeah. And Miriam, I will show my pantry sometime soon in a video, definitely.
Oh, and you know what? I bet you can get like those magnetic or those vinyl cover wraps to go around the Instant Pots and maybe get one that's like
you could totally do that.
A wrap, an aftermarket wrap to go around it just to kind of like spice things up a little bit. That would be super fun. Okay. Okay. So next week, y'all, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We will be over on Nili's channel. I think, Nili, you're this way. Are you not? I think you are.
I have no idea.
So make sure that you are subscribed over there. Make sure you've got the bell notification rung. If you are still here right now, please hit the like button. Maybe if you're on your way out, you hit the like
if you liked it. If you don't like it, then, don't lie.
Right. You can hit the thumbs down twice if you didn't like it. That means twice as much. So
yeah, extra bad.
That's right. It's like super bad. Okay, y'all. We will see you next week. And you'll have a great one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.